I know most of you guys have already heard the news that happened yesterday, man. Actually, all you guys probably heard the news that happened yesterday, and this video isn't really about that, but let me know what you think in the comment section, man. Is there any concrete result that's going to come for this? Personally, I'm talking about Trump. As long as he's still free, he can still run. It's only resulted really in a fundraising surge, basically, right now. So the Democrats, you know, the people that are against him, they haven't really accomplished anything yet unless he gets sentenced to do time. And I know people were saying there's no way that that can happen, and if it does, then they'll just make Mar-a-Lago a prison or something like that. But I don't know. The rules right now allow for them to do that, for them to actually put him away and cut off his communication ability. And if they do that and he's out of sight, out of mind, would that result in the Republicans picking a new nominee, potentially tapping Nikki Haley to be the nominee for the Republican Party? I don't know, man. You guys let me know what you think, because this stuff is all new to me. This is unprecedented in American history. So we're in uncharted territory as far as this. I don't know what's going to happen, but personally, I don't care, man, because I'm going to do the same thing regardless of who's president, man. I promise you it's not going to affect me a bit. And if you're moving the right way, it's not going to affect you either. But anyways, this story is actually about a decision that the current administration, the Biden administration, is going to be looking at in the coming weeks, which is that they're going to start sending the migrants to Italy and Greece. Okay, and this is being reported by most major media outlets, and this is very interesting because those are two countries that are already dealing with migrant crises of their own, from the Middle East, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and people coming into Europe. Italy and Greece are basically the gateway into Europe from the Middle East and North Africa. So people coming from a lot of different countries, refugees from Syria, refugees from the Middle East, they've been flooding through Greece and Italy for a long time. But they have agreed to take migrants from the United States. And what they're getting out of the deal, I don't know. This is kind of a puzzling decision, really, to me. I mean, as far as the Greeks, at least, because when Turkey had opened up the borders of their country and allowed their migrants to flood into Greece, this was a couple of years ago, the Greeks basically formed a wall, okay, and not a literal wall, but they formed a wall of personnel to try to prevent that from happening. And there's been some pretty nasty incidents in the Mediterranean Sea with migrants trying to come in the Greek Coast Guard, forcing them to go back. So a lot of immigrants from Ethiopia, East Africa have been trying to come into Greece, and it's actually, ironically, it's damaged the relationship that by we, I mean the Greeks, we've had with the Ethiopians for thousands of years, because there's been pushback in Greece against that, and because things are already economically tough. So yeah, I don't know where this decision came from. This just came out of the blue for me. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, if this is something that we should do, because this in Chicago right now has become one of the top political issues, okay? And it's been killing the Johnson administration, man, politically, okay, especially in the black community. There's really a lot of pushback against the migrants because they've been getting hundreds, not even just tens, hundreds of millions of dollars. And this is money that, the black community has been told for generations is not there. We don't have it. Just make do with what you got. And now all of a sudden, people that aren't even American citizens are getting all the money that the black community's always been told, the Democrats don't have. Okay, so they've been voting Democrat for generations now, and now they feel like thrown under the bus and stabbed in the back by somebody that they elected. So the resources, and then also too, another thing that's been going on is that the migrants, they've stepped into a lane that a lot of black guys in Chicago have been in for a long time, and by that lane I mean frankly hustling. Okay, and I don't mean selling dope. I'm talking about street level legal hustles, or hustles that are maybe illegal but the police don't really give a care about, selling stuff on the street, other than dope, loose cigarettes, candy, stuff like that. A lot of migrants in massive numbers have stepped into this lane, and it's created competition in a lane that really people are struggling to survive. This is even more tenuous than paycheck to paycheck. They're literally right on the edge, living dollar to dollar. So all of a sudden, the black guys who I know, who are out here, hustling on street corners and stuff, just trying to make it to their next meal, they're suddenly they don't know what to do, because every street corner now is flooded with migrants in the same lane as them. And there's so many that there's I mean, there's no way for them to like keep their heads above water now. So, they don't begrudge it. I don't want to make this seem like the black people in Chicago are hating on the migrants, because most of them are not. They want to see everybody win and everybody eat, but it's just like, okay, it's cool to take care of them, but like take care of us too, type stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying they should be just thrown under the bus, but we don't want to be thrown under the bus either. That's what they're saying. So a lot of the town hall meetings, man, a lot of the city council meetings have gotten very heated. So this solution is interesting. We're going to take these migrants, we're going to ship them out to Greece and Italy. The thing I'm wondering is like what kind of numbers they can actually do this in, because just to get them over there is going to cost a ton of money, which taxpayers would have to ask the question: is that money coming out of our pockets? You guys let me know what you think, though, your opinion on this solution, and I say solution in quotations. If I was a migrant, I don't think that that's a ticket that I would take to Greece or Italy. And I'm telling them this as a Greek, okay, because, I've been there before, and I haven't been there in a long time. Like I was there when I was there was like 20 years ago, but Greece, at least, I'm not talking about Italy, but Greece specifically, has a lot of aspects of it. I don't want to call Greece a third world country, because I don't think it is a third world country, but it has a lot of third world aspects in a lot of the ways that it's run, especially locally. Like in a lot of localities in Greece, especially the part where my family lives, there's like zero law enforcement presence. Okay, the people are the law enforcement. It's like mountainous on an island. If somebody robs you or something, like, what are you going to do? You don't have anything really to back you up on that. Like there's no real local government presence or enforcement or anything. It's just like this rural village type situation. There is a town where you can go, but like it's not like here, where there's a Chicago police force and everything. Like there was just an incident downtown the other day where a bunch of migrants and police came in and squashed it. This is right at the hotel downtown where a lot of it's one of the big migrant shelters in Chicago. That happens in Greece, ain't nobody coming. Like, bro, ain't nobody coming to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe in Athens or maybe on the mainland, but in some of the like some of the parts in the island regions and some of the rural parts, like ain't nobody coming, bro. So, that's not really a ticket I would take. I would try to stay here in the United States. Plus, this is the land where the economy is like 1,000 times bigger than it is in Greece and Italy. So the potential money that you can make over here to survive is way better. The Greeks over there, for the last 25 years, okay, really up until the last like 3-4 years, Greece has been in an economic depression. Okay, unemployment was as high as like among the young people 50%. Okay, it was like worse economically than the Great Depression here in the United States, and the Greeks themselves were leaving Greece in droves to go to other countries in Europe. So they were going to Germany, Scandinavian countries and stuff. And, these are countries with weather that the Greeks aren't very fond of. Okay, now if I'm a migrant from Venezuela or something like that, and my plan is eventually to move on to one of those countries in Western Europe with a bigger economy, okay, that's a different story. But that's a long-term plan, and you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get there, okay, because it's going to have to be on foot. So if it's me, I'm staying here in the U.S., if the U.S. lets me stay. But they may be forced out. But you guys let me know what you think of this new solution in the comment section, man. Organized crime in Italy and Greece has been booming under the migrant crises that they've had. So migrants are vulnerable to exploitation by them too, the mafias. And I say mafias plural because there's multiple mafias. That the immigrant smuggling has become the most lucrative hustle now in the Mediterranean. It's more lucrative than drugs, more lucrative than guns, more lucrative than prostitution is migrant smuggling. From East Africa, from North Africa, from the Middle East, from Pakistan, all those countries, man. So very interesting solution coming from the Biden administration, shipping the migrants to Italy and Greece. Is this going to change the political dynamic in Chicago and in America? Because this is one of the big things that's boosting Trump against Biden. People see him as like the anti-immigration candidate, and Biden is a pro-immigration candidate. And that's the actual reality is a lot more nuanced than that. But people don't deal well with nuance. Okay, especially here in the United States, like voters don't deal well with nuance. Okay, they deal in broad generalities. Okay, and Trump has solidified his position as like the anti-immigration candidate. So when people see migrants on the street corners hustling candy and stuff, there's that's like a sign campaigning for Trump. So you guys let me know what you think, though. It's your boy, Chicago News. I'm out.